Hi everybody, Sam Kavaris and the Gate Sports Update. Jaguars off to Denver this week to play against the Broncos. You'll see a lot of stories about Calais Campbell because that's where he grew up in Aurora. A lot of his family is still there. You know, he's one of 8 brothers and sisters. He's the youngest of 6 brothers. So quite a story. I know Philip Heilman from The Athletic wrote about it. John Osher has written about it, and I also wrote about it this week on Sam's Sportsline, as well as you'll see that in Sunday's Times Union as well. Calais is one of the finest people you'll ever meet, certainly among professional athletes, and I don't know if he'll ever stay in town once he retires, but he's the kind of guy that can really have an impact and make a difference in your community if he's there. I know Arizona was very disappointed when they lost him to free agency, not just on the field, but the impact that he had on the Phoenix area as well. So Calais Campbell with a big week. He was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and for the second time in 3 weeks, Gardner Minshew was the Rookie of the Week as well. That's pretty good company. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes are the only 2 guys who have had that in weeks 1 and first 3 weeks of the season. So Minshew will lead the Jaguars, who are now a 3-point underdog. They were 3.5, and what this means is that there are not a lot of people with a lot of confidence in the Jaguars going out there and beating Denver. Despite the fact that the Broncos have had their troubles, there is money going on the Broncos to beat the Jaguars and to cover that 3-point spread. It's also a 38-point game, which means a combined total of points under 38. Low-scoring game wouldn't surprise me. That's what the Jaguars want to play. And if they're able to contain the running game in Denver like they did against Tennessee at home and make Joe Flacco beat them, they know exactly where he's going to be, just like they did a couple of weeks ago with the less than mobile these days Marcus Mariota. Then you may see the defense dominate, and you may see another 30-point, 27-point game where the Jaguars are able to win the game 23-15 or something like that. So kind of an interesting setup this week for the Jaguars. And Jalen Ramsey now was sick with the flu on Monday, didn't practice Wednesday with back spasms, had informed the team that his wife was going to have a baby, or his girlfriend, one or the other, and then all of a sudden has been excused from the team. I can tell you that on Friday, Doug Marrone said he's listed as questionable for the game Sunday. When pressed on it, Marrone, who did not have a long press conference, just said, look, questionable, as in we don't know. And Doug's pretty honest. There's one thing about Marrone that I've really liked about him, and that is, he may not tell you something you don't know, but he's not going to lie to you if you ask the right questions. And that's, I think, very important relationship between public figures and the media and the public as well. So unlike some other coaches that we've had who I guess I've named plenty in the past. Nonetheless, it's good stuff for the Jaguars, who are 1-2. There's a lot of interest in them. Minshew has created a lot of interest. Uncle Rico was in town this week. A lot of national cable companies were in town. So good time to be a Jaguar fan. And if they come home with a win on Sunday, now all of a sudden they're 2-2 and really start to be considered as part of the playoff race in the AFC South. That's the Gate Sports Update. Don't forget, at your Gate stores, if the Jaguars do win Sunday, on Monday, 94 cents will get you a 20-cent Pepsi. That's not a 20-ounce Pepsi. That's the promotion between Gate and Pepsi. 94 cents for a 20-ounce Pepsi on Monday after a Jaguars victory. The Gate stores are, owned by local people, run by local people. Your neighbors are there. Solid gas, good service, well lit, very well maintained. And the food service that we'll talk about as the season goes on, obviously, has now second to none. So thanks to Gate for their continued support, and this has been the Sam Sportsline Gate Sports Update.